Today's video, we're going to compare my 2022 Model 3 long range to the new Highland 2024 refresh. You can see the headlights are a little bit more lower profile. This one's dirty, unfortunately, but we'll give it an honest assessment. So like and subscribe for more great content, and be sure to stick around at the end of the video. There's going to be a controversial subject we'll cover. So one big difference right away is the tail lights actually go up with the trunk. Mine, the lights are here. Mine's a 22 long range. This is also Model 3 long range. The lights are right here in my car, and they always have a leak. Well, they don't always, but there was an issue with them collecting water. These actually go up with it. That's kind of cool. Okay, so one of my first observations is it's Florida, it's summertime, 94 degrees outside, and it's really hot. Now this one does have the ventilated seats, and I feel like it's pulling away from the air. Because I am dying. Been in the car about 2 minutes. I don't have the app for this car because it has the key, but it's not cooling down nearly as fast as it does without the vented seats. So they're obviously drawing away some air. So we'll put one in the plus column for the 22 versus the refresh. I had to pause real quick to figure out how to engage autopilot. It's holding down the right stick with it set up in the settings will enable autopilot. So without the stick, a little tricky. So we're on full autopilot, full self-driving. It's gonna make a right turn here. And it's still very hot in the vehicle. It's probably been about 5 minutes and I'm not very comfortable. There's a car coming, so it should stop. And now it should go. Okay, that's good. So we know if you watch any of my videos, the FSD works great. Obviously this is a newer car, shouldn't have any issues. It's same software, same everything, so that part works pretty good. All right, so I've changed the steering to match my steering with the acceleration and the handling sport mode. So we'll see if we get the same kind of feel. Because right now on the steering wheel, this newer one, it's very nice. It just feels kind of sloppy and a little bit looser, like a Crown Vic or something. So I just disengaged full self-driving to feel the handling. And it is much more responsive on the sport mode, but it's still got a lot of, I don't know what the right term is, roll or lag with it. You really kind of feel it more, if that makes sense. It's kind of weird to describe. I don't know if it's better or worse. I don't prefer it, I know that much. So we're gonna go 1+1 for the 22 on steering aspect on sport mode. Difference is on the console here, they've changed the material, some more of, I don't even know what you would call that material, but mine is like plasticky, and you can, if you had anything on there, it would scratch and you could see the scratches. Maybe they went to this material to take that away. Also under here, it's no longer a clip, it's just magnetic, and a little craftsmanship issue, the magnet sticks on that one. But I kind of like the magnet if it works. Tesla's not known for their awesome build quality, so they'll probably tighten that up with some more glue or Loctite or something on that magnet that's clearly supposed to be part of the armrest. It's not. And I don't want to be a Tesla hater because I really do love them. I think it's the best car ever made. It's the safest car ever made. It's the most American-made car ever made. So they have a lot going for them. As far as technology, they're light years ahead of everybody else with this full self-driving. The car's driving itself. So there's a million pluses across the board for Tesla in general. This video is focusing on the difference between Model 3 22 long range versus 24 long range. See what kind of range at 75%. We're looking at 248 miles. So I think it's 330 from the factory, 331 in that range. And mine came with 358. Obviously degradation. I don't get that now. And this has the LFP battery, so you can charge to 100%, I believe. I'll double check that fact. One of the features I use all the time with my stock is as I'm driving, coming up to a light or a stop sign, I throw it in neutral, coast, and then pop it into drive to coast down. And I'm not seeing that option to change gears while I'm driving, to put it in neutral. There's no way to do that unless I engage the brake. That is a huge deal for me. I'm probably one of the more rare Tesla drivers who actually uses the stock. When I'm in reverse, I go 4 or 5 miles an hour and just jam it and drive and go. Don't have to wait for the car to stop like a regular gas car. That could be a deal breaker for me. So I'm gonna lean towards the 22 on that one for sure, because that is like right now, you come up to a light, you just want to throw it neutral. You know, if you once you let off the accelerator and Tesla, it starts braking. See there's the difference there. And the black bar shows you the energy you're using, and the green bar shows you when you're recharging. So as soon as you let off, it's going to start regen braking, which is fine. But sometimes you don't want to lose momentum, and you're maybe, you know, 1/8 of a mile away. You just throw it neutral, and you've got plenty of energy to go and make it to that light without having to engage in the pedals. So for zero pedal driving, I'm gonna definitely prefer the 22 versus the update. Now, as far as handling, it seems to be the same. Acceleration is great. This one's 0 to 60 in 4.2 on the long range. I think that's what mine's at. 4.2 sounds about right for the 22. I'll have to look that up. It definitely goes when you hit it. Yeah. Of course, new tires, you're gonna get much better grip. And actually, I think these are 19s on here. They look nice on the wheels. The other thing that takes a minute getting used to is not having the stalk, is finding the turn signal, looking down at which one's left, which one's right. But that's a minor thing. All right, I know it's loud because the air, it's finally starting to feel normal. So 95 degrees out, still a hot day in St. Pete, Florida. And I'm moderately comfortable with the air on full blast and the seats on full ventilation. When I touch a bare spot of the seats, you can feel it's definitely, you can tell there's some cooling happening there. So as far as overall ride and handling, it just feels a little bouncier. I don't know if that makes sense. If like there's air suspension or something. Definitely doesn't feel as tight as mine. I mean, this is a pretty smooth interstate, South St. Pete, and I'm not really loving the overall feel of the seats and the comfort of it. I feel like I'm bouncing along a little more. I don't know. Like I said, it's got a little more of a Continental, old man Lincoln Continental feel to it. All right, as we're nearing the end of our test drive, let's engage autopilot one last time. As we come back in, looks like I might have been gone a little bit more than 30 minutes, but that's okay. Don't get nervous about that. They have the app on their phone. They can see exactly where you are, how fast you're going. And so if you're obviously on the interstate headed out of state, stealing the vehicle, you're not going to get away with it. They can disable it. They're going to know. So if you do run a little long, you saw I made a couple stops. Got the coffee, made an Amazon return, and disengage here with this car coming. So don't sweat it, especially if you're not on the weekend. If it's a weekday, it's not a big deal. If it's a weekend and they have lots of people wanting to drive, they might text you or call you and say, hey, you know, we said 30 minutes. And we're trying to be respectful of that. But with the couple stops I made, that makes sense that I went just a tad bit over. So here we come in back to Tesla. So one thing I will say in defense of this vehicle, the air conditioning does work fine. I am just very used to, and I would do it if I owned this car, very used to engaging the air conditioner on the app, preconditioning it's called, you know, at the time I'm ready to leave, so it's a nice comfortable temperature. Because Florida, it's brutal. I mean, you saw it was as high as 97, now it's saying 95. So in their defense, if I own this vehicle, I want to get into it when it's 140 degrees and not precondition it. So let's strike that one from the record. It did take a very long time to get cool. It also has black seats. Mine has white. I think that made a big difference on the heat being trapped. But we're going to hop in the back seat and see the difference with the rear screen, which is nice. I mean, I'm driving, so I don't know what's going on back there, but some people like to have that. So we're going to put that in the wind column for the 24 refresh. In fact, my car has been at 135 degrees, so I will turn the air on now, crank that down, so I'm done shooting this video. I'll be ready to go at a nice comfortable 62 degrees. Anyway, we're in the back seat of the Model 3 Highland refresh, sorry. And a little glitch we found in demo mode anyway is if no one's sitting in the driver's seat, you're not going to get screen use, which is kind of a bummer because I wanted to play with that. The air does look really well back here. It's got some serious Well, it had some serious oomph. So I guess we'll hop back in the front, but maybe we'll go in the showroom and show you the screen, and there's some games and all that. And so this explains why when I walked away with it locked or unlocked, it must shut off after about a minute, 30 seconds. All right, so about the AC noise the whole time because it is blazing hot here at 95 degrees. So there's my closing thoughts on this refresh. It's awesome. It's great. If I never owned a Tesla, I would not hesitate at all to put the money down and go ahead and buy one, especially at the pricing they're at now. They're offering incredible financing at 2.9% for like 4 years. If you do 36 months, it's 1.9%. So I don't work for Tesla. In fact, if you want, you can use my referral link, and the spiffs always change. So sometimes they'll give you, 500 free miles of supercharging, sometimes it's 1,000, but use my link and you can get something extra. Sometimes they give you credits for merchandise. They're constantly changing it. So I'd hate to say something in this video and you're watching it 6 months from now and it changes to something else, but definitely use my referral link. I'll put that in this video, and I'll provide you with some closing thoughts. So once again, it's a outstanding vehicle. If I had the choice and I could compare a 22 long range with about similar miles with the degradation and look at the pricing, all things being equal, if you can get a banger deal on a 22 versus buying a new one, I would buy the 22. I like the stock. It still has the same gray headlights. The only thing it doesn't have is this plush interior trim and then the lights, and that's not a big deal. There's some styling issues. This one looks sportier. Yes, it does. I'll give them that. That part's different. Not a fan of the magnet coming off, but I like the concept of a magnetic one instead of the clip there. Either way, all things being equal, the stock is really the deal breaker for me. And they're both long range, so they both have the dual motors. They're both very quick. This one you can, I believe, charge overnight to 100%. So yeah, friends, if you can get a 22, for $8,000 or $10,000 less than what these are going for brand new, and maybe even still get the tax credit in some cases, I'd lean that way. If you can't get the tax credit for the used EV, then the $7,500 federal incentive, that comes into play. So, you got some options here. There's lots of Teslas on the market, and it's a good time to buy. Getting better and better. So overall, things being equal, the new price as it is versus a similarly priced long range 22, I'm going to 22. The stock is just for me, when you're backing up and you just throw it and drive, you're in a hurry. Oh, there's a Cybertruck. You're backing up, you're in a hurry. Yeah, it just gets so used to it. And this pressing the screen and not being able to change it, kind of a deal breaker. So there, look at that Cybertruck lowering. That's pretty cool. So friends, I hope you enjoyed this video. And here's the controversial part I was telling you about earlier in the video. And so thank you for watching, liking, subscribe for more great content. And the controversial part is, the sad, hard, brutal fact is 10 out of 10 is the statistic. Everyone's going to die. Everyone walking this earth one day is going to breathe their last breath and move on to eternity. And the question is, that I have for you is, where will you spend eternity? Where will you be 30 seconds after you die? Maybe you never thought about it. Maybe you think about it all the time. But the Bible's very clear. It's axiomatic. It's proving itself. And by that I mean everything can't be true, right? So all these world religions, all these systems, they can't all be right. Logic dictates there can only be one truth. And that's what Jesus came to do. He came to prove to the world that he is the creator of all things, that he is the Son of God. Born of a virgin, lived a sinless life, never lied, never stole, never did any of the things that we do. And you think, well, maybe I'm a good person. I don't tell that many lies, and I pay my taxes, and I do all this kind of good stuff. But honestly, if you've broken one of God's commandments, you've broken them all. So that's not going to hold up. And if you're truly serious about this and investigating it, then there's a saying that says, anyone truly looking for Jesus can find him, can find the truth if they're willing to humble themselves and go where the truth will take them. And the Bible is the way to the truth. Jesus came on this earth and said, I am the way, the truth, and life, and no one comes to the Father except through me. So the promise is that, like it says in the book of Romans, that if you confess with your mouth the Lord Jesus and you believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. For with the heart one believes unto righteousness, and with the mouth confession is made unto salvation. So that's the book of Romans. And later in that same verse it says, verse 13, for everyone who calls upon the name of the Lord will be saved. Friends, there's not people in hell wishing that they could call on the name. They had plenty of chances to do that while they were living and breathing on this earth. And so that's my prayer for you as you contemplate eternity, as you contemplate where you'll be. We're not saved by our good works or church attendance or writing checks to charities, and all those things are wonderful, but they're not going to save us. In the book of Ephesians, it says, for by grace are you saved through faith, that not of yourselves. It's a gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast. There's nothing you could do to ever earn salvation. There's not enough good charity or works or anything you could ever possibly do to earn this wonderful free gift that God offers everyone. So that's my prayer for you as you watch this, as you meditate on this, to download the Bible app, start reading it, start in the book of John. See these 12 men who followed Jesus and literally died horrible deaths, except for one of them. Why would all these early Christian fathers die if this whole thing was a lie? They wouldn't. And plenty of people had chances to recant their Christianity or their faith and live, and they don't do it. A great book when this country was founded was called Fox's Book of Martyrs. Everyone had this book. It was very popular, and it talked about the persecution that all these Christians would face just by clinging to the truth. And God's a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. So thank you so much. Thanks again for watching this video. Like and subscribe for more great content. Comment, let me know what you think about 22 verse 24. Definitely the stick is the one for me. But friends, thank you so much. And I pray that this video is convicting to your soul, and that the Lord's using it to bring you to a place of repentance and faith in him alone for your salvation. Thank you, and God bless you.